What's up, everybody? This is Slick for Breaking the Clutch. I'm here today with Nick, and we're back with some more Halo Wars 2 predictions. Yes, we are wearing the same clothes. Yeah, that happens a lot. Alright, so anyway, we're going to quickly jump right in, and we're going to talk about unit classes for Halo Wars 2, what we want to see. And we're also going to talk about, say, army size and the capability of that from the Xbox One. And then third, last but not least, we're actually going to talk about multiplayer variants and changes to multiplayer. So, quick video. We're just going to chat about it. So, Nick, the first thing I wanted to bring up about unit classes is, because right now in Halo Wars 1, we have rock, paper, scissors. We got infantry, vehicles, and air, and they all fight each other in their own dynamics. They're all stronger against each other, blah, 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 blah. With more unit classes, or at least even one more, I think it could totally change the game. Where, say, if there were space units, I know it sounds a little crazy. I'm not sure how they would do it on scale size, or like how big they'd be on the map, what kind of army size they would take, what unit space. But I do know that it could be possible. Like, let's say if there was a UNSC frigate that cost a bunch of money, but you could, say, get like 5 or 6 of them, you fly them around the map, and they cause all kinds of damage. Or maybe, say, longsword fighter, too, from the UNSC, or anything like that. I think there's plenty of room for them to go. Nick, how do you feel about unit classes?
Absolutely. I think they should definitely break away from the rock, paper, scissors that we currently see in Halo Wars, or some version of rock, paper, scissors that we see in Halo Wars currently. I definitely agree they should bring some bigger class units into the game. I don't care if they're ground units. I don't care if they're space units. I think we just need to see more clusters of units. And I think with the Xbox One, we can definitely break away from these 30, 40 unit max per player that we currently see. I think the biggest amount of units that we can have in a Halo Wars game right now is 60, which is on some 2v2 map. I'll put the name of it right here. And I think with the Xbox One, we can break away from having smaller games and smaller amounts of armies. So I think we can actually get to hundreds of units per player. Really kind of break away from the you've got 10 tanks pretty much if you're a human, and you've got 20 banshees if you're a covenant leader. I think we can see 30, 40 units per player, and actually we can break away from this standard tanks versus banshees kind of thing, vampires versus banshees. I think we can really expand away from this with the Xbox One, and I guess PC as well.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I mean, so with PCs, you can even go further and beyond with your processing speeds and what your actual game is capable of. So that'd be crazy to see. I think on top of that as well, I think with the processing capability of the Xbox One, which is, I want to say, 3 to 4 times better than what the Xbox
Yeah, I believe
360
so.
was and is. I mean, I think it's most certainly possible to have 100 units. I think that makes sense. Say 100 spaces, 4 units. Maybe it's not exactly 100. Say
I'll say
tanks for
per
3.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right. Like per player. And I
yeah.
think that's really awesome. And I think another thing, too, that actually really I would like to see in terms of multiplayer changes, there's something really important that I'd like to see, and that is bigger team sizes. Like maybe let's do like a 4v4 maybe, or even like 5v5, 6v6. I think that'd be absolutely crazy to see. Because if that were the case, then things, if Xbox One can handle it, then I think that's perfectly reasonable to hope that's a thing. On top of that, also, I'd love to see free for all as a thing. I used to play StarCraft, Brood War, and StarCraft 2 a lot. And I'd say that like free for all is one of my favorite things in Brood War, when it was one person and 7 other people and everyone's fighting for themselves. Like, game is absolutely fun. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then still have our 1v1s, our 2v2s, our 3v3s, and even maybe 4v4s. I think that would be absolutely incredible. Nick, what do you think?
So my only issue with going up to like 5v5, 6v6, as fun as that sounds, give the game 2 years down the line. Do we still have enough players searching in 6v6? Do we have enough players searching in 5v5? Do we have enough players searching in 4v4? And so on. I mean, I'd rather see something along the lines of random games that we have currently. So the max you can go is random threes. So I say from randoms 4 to 6, at the minimum, at the least, you can have a 4v4. But if there's enough players searching, it can go up to a 6v6, assuming that they make maps that allow for 6v6 or 5v5. I'm completely fine with seeing something like you're searching between 4 and 6 players per team, or I'm sorry, for per team in a game. I think that would be awesome. I don't think they should have a solo playlist for 5v5s or 6v6s though, because I just don't see that staying around or staying relevant a year or 2 years down the line when people kind of move on, and then you get stuck with the core group that are going to stick with Halo Wars 2 until the next one.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. You know, that makes a lot of sense. And if, let's say, 4v4 was a thing, then if that's the case, then you have 8 possible starting base slots. So, like, another thing I'd really like to see is, like, same thing in StarCraft. Again, I'll always bring it up. But, say, in 1v1s, like, maybe you could play a 1v1 on a 3v3 map, because it's still fair, and,
Yeah.
you know, there's different changes and things like that. Or maybe you could do, like, a multi-team, like Nick and I have talked about in the past, where there's 4 teams of 2 all fighting against each other. I think that'd be absolutely insane to see. So now that I think about it, of course, 8 slots on the map for potential bases and players, I think that would be really cool to see, and to have maybe a little more opportunity to really delve into those things. Like, I would have loved to play, say, if I search in 1v1s, I would have loved to play like any kind of, like, even like crevice even in a 1v1. That would be so exciting to me. Like, maybe they just put a flood colony base or something like that, or a flood base or an enemy AI base on those empty slots, so you still have to fight for them or something. I don't know, but it's all speculation. It's all guessing. But I think if we saw those changes, I think it'd be absolutely awesome in Halo
They
Wars
should
2.
definitely utilize more maps for ones, twos, and threes. I don't think there should be strictly threes maps or twos maps or ones maps, because there's a map currently in Halo Wars, the original Halo Wars, called Tundra in 1v1s. It's a massive map, and it takes forever to get across it. I think there's 2 bases on each side of the map, so there's 6 bases in total. Then you've got this rebel unit in the center, if you remember the map that I'm talking about. I think you can easily
Oh yeah.
turn that map into a 2v2 map with an open base on the side. I don't think they should restrict it to ones, twos, threes. I think they should definitely, like you said, throw an AI base on there if it turns
Yeah.
into a 1v1 and it's originally maybe say a 2v2 map.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest way to do it. And I think I even have one more thing to touch on in terms of matchmaking changes too. Nick, you might actually agree with me a lot on this, or maybe not, but I think that we should do similar matchmaking styles, especially if there's 4v4s. That's really important to what Halo 3 did with in terms of parties. So let's say you do away with the standard 3v3s versus party team 3v3s, and what you do is you just make it so if I'm a team of 3 searching, I can only play against other teams of 3. I think that's how they should do it. I mean, I get it that teams of 3, like, it slows down matchmaking and it makes things really difficult, but otherwise the fairness isn't really ever going to be there, and people are always going to complain. Like, I know they did in Halo 5. I know I was a victim. I complained all the time about how Nick and I would just search together. We get 2 randoms. We play a whole team of 4. That would just absolutely stomp us. And I think if you're going to have a ranking system that is influenced by that, you need to fix that. But that's Halo 5. But anyway, when I think about it, I think they should always have equal parties matching each other. Maybe if you're searching as a solo player, maybe you can turn on a setting that says, yes, I'm okay with searching against parties.
Yeah, maybe
But
change your
otherwise,
preferences.
you do something different. Yeah, maybe something like that. But I think they should do away with standard 3s, and that they should make it so, like, you just hit search on the same playlist and you get plugged right in. I think it would be awesome that way. I think it would speed up matchmaking, as well as, say, narrow down playlists and make you'd have a lot more players playing against each other, new players versus new players.
Yeah, you could pretty much
Because I
tunnel
know
the
there's a lot of
population
people like
into
that.
playlists rather than having them
Yeah.
split across like 7 or 8 different playlists that we currently have now in Halo Wars 1.
Yeah, and that's one thing I know. I know there's a lot of guys out there who wish they could just play, like, say, if I was a single guy searching in 3s, like, they wish they could just play with a team of 2 or something they could pick up as a third and then play other people. But you know, it's a little too difficult that way. I understand that just making people search alone is fair, but at the same time, if there's enough people at launch at Halo Wars 2, I think it's totally doable just to have party team matching accessibility. So
I think as long as they fine tune ranking system, there's no problem there. That should work fine.
Like, if they could do what they have now, where it's say, like, bronze all the way up through Onyx and Champion and Diamond and all that stuff. Like, they could most certainly keep that exact same ranking system if they wanted to, but they have to utilize the magic of it. They have to remember that wins are the reason why you rank up and why your skill goes up. So if wins are that, then you have to make the ability to win be fair. So I think if they utilize that, then they're gonna be good to go. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Slick, and I'm talking with Nick from Breaking the Clutch.
What's up, everyone? Sorry about the ending to that video. We had some face cam and audio issues towards the end, but what Pat was going to continue to say was be sure to stay tuned to our channel for more Halo Wars 2 informational videos, more Halo Wars 1 breakdown analysis videos, and also be sure to check out the Halo Wars subreddit. It is awesome. There's a ton of discussions going on there, so that'll be in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching.